Brother, if you bring Sam Shamoun, he will speak only him, you know.
Welcome, Sam. How are you, bro?
What's going on, Sam?
From what I heard from the conversation, you were saying to him that Allah only deceives evildoers, they deserve it?
Yeah, I'll just can you just give me 2 minutes? I'll just try to find the verse and I'll get back to you for that.
Okay, when
Yeah,
you get
thanks.
that verse, Brother Hussein, if you want to show him chapter 8, verse 43, 44. Allah deceived Muhammad and his followers into thinking the Meccans were smaller in number, so they would fight, because if he didn't, they would be too scared to fight. And this is in the same surah where in 8:30 he says, Allah is the best of all deceivers.
Do you want me to read this? Do you want me to read this
Yeah, I
now?
want to read it because the argument was Allah deceives those who deserve to be deceived. They're evil, they get what they deserve. I was hearing it.
Yeah.
But in here, 8:43, 44, it's about the battle of Badr. Allah is deceiving Muhammad to deceive his followers because he says he showed them as few, because if they saw them as many, the Muslims would be afraid to fight. Read it, it's right there.
Allah showing them to you in your sleep as few, for had he showed them to you as many, you would have faltered and disagreed with each other about the matter. But Allah saved, he is indeed all-knowing of what lies in the chest. What lies in the chest is him. He's the liar in the chest. Okay. And recall when you met him, he showed them to you as few in your eyes, and making you appear fewer in their eyes, so that Allah might carry out a predetermined matter. And to Allah, all matters are returned.
So notice what you read here. Allah wanted them to fight and kill each other because it was predestined. So Allah made it look like the Muslims were few so that the pagans would be more bold to attack. And then he made it look like the pagans were few so the Muslims wouldn't be afraid to attack and kill them. So he deceived both of them, the believers and unbelievers. But why is he deceiving the believers? Compare that to Gideon, where God says to Gideon, lower your soldiers to 300 so that when you win, you won't take the credit for your size.
Yeah.
The victory came from me. Does Allah need to deceive his own believers into trusting him that he's powerful enough to win? Come on, man. So it's not, he doesn't just deceive unbelievers, he deceives even believers to accomplish his purpose. That's the problem we're having.
Wow. And this leads to the greatest of deceptions, which is the, when they say that he changed the face of Jesus. And he's looking for a verse, where it says,
even any verse he quotes where Allah deceives deceivers, okay, but why does he stoop to their level? Why does he have to deceive them to punish them? But more importantly, I just gave you an example, he's deceiving Muhammad and the Sahaba. So you can give me any verse you want, that still doesn't do away with this one where he's deceiving Muhammad and the Sahaba, his companions.
And it says, even you could even use that chapter 3, verse 54. It says, "Umakaru, umakar Allah, Allah khairul makirin." They deceived, and Allah deceived, and Allah is the best of deceivers.
And by the way, Steve, that same word is in chapter 8, verse 30, in the same context of this verse.
Sam, you're there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, that's 226.
Yes, that's okay. I know. He seals the hearts of those who don't want to believe, but that doesn't explain these verses we're giving you. I know what you're messages.
This word that you're giving, this is Allah's wisdom,
It's wisdom of Allah to deceive believers. Okay, that's more honest answer. That's okay. But instead of explaining it away, just say, okay, yeah, Allah deceived believers, unbelievers, but he has a wisdom hikmah doing it. That's more honest to say, no. So do you guys okay? You okay with Allah deceiving even Muhammad and the Sahaba?
No, I'll get to that, Sam. I wasn't following the conversation, but I wanted specifically to say to Hussein regarding that he leads whom he wills and he misleads whom he wills. I just want Hussein to get the verse of 226, verse 2, chapter 2, verse 26.
I have it here, if you want me to read it.
Okay, go ahead.
Allah is not ashamed to strike a similitude even of a gnat or aught above it. As for the believers, they know it is the truth from their Lord. But as for unbelievers, they say, what did Allah desire by this for a similitude? Thereby he leads many astray, and thereby he guides many, and thereby he leads none astray save the ungodly. You want me to comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
Okay. Now the problem with what you just showed me is that according to the Quran, I'm just well, brother, you're saying okay, I didn't even give it to you. According to the Quran,
I'm just following it.
According to the Quran, no one can believe if Allah doesn't will it for him. Here, let me read it for you. 76, 29 to 31. 76. Can I read it?
Let's finish that point where he says Muhammad, that he does not.
With this point, it is this point. They're ungodly because Allah predestined them to be ungodly because they can't be godly. Can I read the verses? You're cutting me off. I'm trying to read your Quran.
Yeah,
Okay,
hear
go
him
ahead, go
out,
ahead.
bro. Hear him out.
76,
Okay. Yeah.
29 to 31. So I don't want to argue with you. I'm going to let the Quran argue with you. Here, listen. Quran, can the ungodly become godly? Not if Allah doesn't will it. Here, 76, 29 to 31. Here, verily, this is an admonition. So whoever wills, let him take a path to his Lord. But you cannot will unless Allah wills. Verily, Allah is ever all-knowing, all-wise. He will admit to his mercy whom he will, but the wrongdoers, for them he has prepared a grievous penalty. So again, to give you the verses, it's 76, 29, 31. There are two more that read the same way. 81, 28 to 29. Whomever among you wills to walk straight, and you will not unless Allah wills it for you, the Lord of the worlds. The final one, chapter 10, verses 99 to 100, 10, 99 to 100. And if your Lord will, if Allah will, all who are on the earth would have believed. That's his will. Would you, Muhammad, compel men until they are believers? It is not for any soul to believe except by the permission of Allah. There's your answer.
Can I comment on that?
Okay,
Can I comment on that? It's just like saying Allah guides whom He wills, Allah misguides whom He wills.
No.
It's that simple, Sam.
No, Muhammad.
I know. See, I know I cannot be guided until Allah guides. So Allah is telling you clearly, He guides whom He wills, He misguides whom He wills.
No, that's not what
so
the verses
I'm telling
said,
you.
Muhammad.
Okay.
That's not what these verses said. The verses
Okay,
said,
what does it say?
Well, I just read it. I got to read it again. It said, you will not believe. Listen, if you talk over me, you're not listening. How are you going to get the point?
I'm just following it up, Sam, so
Here's
that you
what it
come to
says
know
again.
that I'm following it up.
Listen to what it says. No one can believe except by permission of Allah. That's one. You will not will to follow the guidance except Allah wills it for you. That's two. You will not walk on the straight path unless Allah wills it for you. It's not Allah guides those astray who are unbelievers. It's saying you can't believe, you won't believe, and you won't follow the straight path if Allah doesn't will it for you first. That's what it's saying. So according to the Quran, the ungodly are ungodly because Allah did not will it for them to be godly, because they can't be godly unless Allah wills it for them. I just read the verses, and if I give you the hadith, you want me to give you the hadith? Forget about it. If I give you Bukhari and Muslim, it's even worse. But I stuck with the Quran. But you're not Qurani only, so you're Muslim. You're following hadith. If I give you hadith, you got problem, Muhammad. You want me to go to hadith now? Here you go.
Can I respond once?
Okay,
you guys can hear me?
Yeah, we go ahead.
Yeah, see, Sam is talking about predestination. That's a different topic, Me and Hussein were specifically talking about the point being that whom does Allah lead and whom does Allah mislead. So my specific answer to this was He specifically misleads a person who is a ungodly, whatever the translation is. That was my specific reason to what Hussein pointed out. What Sam is taking you is to predestination. That is a completely different topic.
Okay, well,
I wanted to refute Hussein, which I tried to do, which I did also.
Muhammad, let me tell you why it's not. I'll tell you why it's not a different topic.
What I was saying is that Allah seems to be capricious.
Yeah.
He just guides whom He wants, and He misleads whom He wants.
Yes, of course. That's saying. True.
And it's not because they're good or bad. He just guides whom He wants, and He misleads whom He wants.
Yeah, that's why I want to tie it in, Hussein.
And he misleads specifically to those people who are ungodly.
Yeah, but
he gives the condition.
You're not following the argument. Who made them
ungodly?
But
that is about predestination. That is not at all included in the top.
Allah made me ungodly, and now He punishes me for being ungodly when He made me.
Okay, so in that eyes, it's like Allah is like oppressing in your eyes, right, Sam?
I don't know.
No, Muhammad.
No, I'm saying in your eyes, you see that as oppression. Allah is oppressing people, right?
Not so much oppressing as that He's saying Allah misleads people who are ungodly, but Allah made them ungodly, right?
So Allah also said in the Quran that He is not unjust to anyone.
Okay,
but how are you?
But you're only creating a contradiction. Okay, if He's not unjust, but He's the one who predetermined that they will not believe, and then punishes them for unbelief. Now explain to me how that's not unjust. Quoting a verse that says He's not unjust doesn't prove He's not unjust. Let me give you from Bukhari Muslim. First Muslim.
No, what is the specific hadith that you're quoting? What is it regarding?
Bukhari that Allah makes people ungodly and evil, then He punishes them for it. So let me show
go
you.
ahead. Yeah,
Sahih Muslim, book 33, number 6421. Verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in, and which he of
Okay.
necessity must commit. You know, when you talk, you're not listening, Muhammad. You know that, right? There's 3 times.
Bro,
Before-
don't say okay. Just hear
No,
what
I'm
he's
just
saying.
Repeat
I'm
what
just
I
following
said.
what he's saying.
Okay, repeat what I said. Repeat the hadith that I quoted. Let's see if you heard it.
Allah has verily fixed every portion of adultery. Go on. I
So what was
followed you
yes,
till there.
you tell me up that you must commit. You
Yeah,
can't
you
escape,
must
you
commit.
have to commit. Okay, now if I commit zina, I have to be punished, right?
Not specifically.
If I'm living, oh my goodness, I'm living under Umar ibn al-Khattab. He's the Khalif. And he
Yes,
has to be
in
doing
Sharia law. In Sharia law, yes.
So then he
If you
has
get
to
caught, yes.
kill me, right? Stone me, right?
Yes, in
But
Sharia
wait,
law,
the
yes.
hadith said, Allah
Okay.
made me do it because He predestined that I do it, and I have no choice but to do it. So now Allah made me commit adultery, and now Allah is going to kill me for it.
That predestination and free will is something completely different topics, Sam, and you know it.
No, brother, that's my brother in humanity.
You are
Brother.
forcing your thoughts in this, Sam.
No,
You know you see the thought of predestination and free will. We Muslims always discuss that, but for this particular topic, we weren't discussing about predestination at all. We're discussing
Muhammad,
something else at
But
all.
Muhammad, please understand. This is thinking Allah because Allah has no love in him. You know.
Okay, but
Because
no,
it's
I don't want to go
predestined.
into the love part. What Muhammad said did not get. You're not getting the connection. It's not a different topic. It's what you're saying. They're ungodly, so Allah misleads them. But then you're going to have to ask, why are they ungodly? And can they believe? It is tied in because I'm going with your response.
Because we believe in free will too, right? It's not
But here
specifically
on this
only
they
of
can't.
predestination.
guess
Aren't there
what I'm
other verses? No, Sam. Aren't there other verses which say that we have free will too?
No, those verses, if you believe the Quran, okay, you want me to answer? Here, let me talk to the wall. Because the
Yeah,
verses that talk about people choosing,
Okay.
unless you believe the Quran contradicts, means they'll only choose if Allah has decreed that they can choose. I just read it for you. Whoever wills, but you will not will unless Allah wills. Didn't I just read it?
That's guidance, right?
Yeah,
That's
and if
not
you're
the will
guided,
to
are you
choose.
godly?
That is
Are
not
you
that.
godly
No,
if you're not guided?
no. See, for me to choose now, I choose to eat. Right. That is my choice.
Not according to the
That
Quran.
verse what you're quoting. That verse what you're quoting is for guidance. That is not for free will,
But that's
Sam.
even worse.
You're
If I'm
misrepresenting the
not guided,
verses.
I'm going to hell. I'm ungodly if I'm not guided.
No, say that again.
You know, Sam, you have to understand predestination.
Nobody understands. You don't understand it, man.
Predestination means Allah knows what's gonna happen. Allah is not forcing.
No.
Yeah, it's
okay,
not forcing things
I
on
wanna,
you.
Muhammad says you're both liars. Sahih Muslim, you guys are lying. Hussein, click on that link. Read for them, Muslim. So show them with your own eyes. Show to everybody. The Muslim, not me, Muhammad, what he said. And Muhammad, if they were alive at time Muhammad, he'd have them killed for denying predestination. It's not what you choose. It's what Allah wrote for you. That's what Muhammad said.
Okay, Sam, I think I have to leave. I think
you have to leave?
my time is up. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
make
drop
sure
in
you
some
call
other.
me.
I'll
you
make sure.
come
Yeah,
back
yeah.
on my channel, huh?
Sure. I will, Sam.
Come
I
from
will.
me.
Yeah.
I will come to your channel once.
Read
All
for
right.
him.
Okay, bye,
Why like
Muhammad.
Okay,
bye.
guys. Okay, see you. Bye.
Read for him. Why like this?
Abu al-Aswad reported that Imran Hussein asked him, what is your view? What do people do today in the world and strive for? Is it something decreed for them or preordained for them? Or will fate in the hereafter be determined by the fact that their prophets brought them teaching which they did not act upon?
Now what he's saying here, this is what he's saying. You can read the Arabic, it's clearer than the English, but because the English they butcher. He's saying, okay, on the day of judgment, are we punished for or rewarded for what Allah predestined and preordained for us? Or are we going to be held responsible for what the prophets taught us and our failure to obey it? So they're asking, what's the basis of our judgment? Is it predestination? We're predestined to do what we do? Or is it that when we have a prophet who comes to us and we hear the message, then we'll be judged by how we respond? Free will. The answer is predestination. Read it.
Okay. Of course, it is something which is predetermined for them and preordained for them, he further said. Then would it not be an injustice to punish them?
He's now asking objection.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that unjust then for Allah then to punish us for what He predetermined? Now watch the person's reaction.
I felt greatly disturbed because of that and said, everything is created by Allah and lies in His power. He
Okay,
would-
pause, Hussein, so that the Muslims get it. He got angry because he gave a question he couldn't answer, and he says, you know what? Allah created everything, and it's in this qadr. So, in other words, shut your mouth. We don't question. Now, notice the response, but now watch the response.
Okay, everything lies in. He would not be questioned as to what he does, but
Got it.
they would be questioned. Thereupon he said to me, "May Allah have mercy upon you. I did not mean to ask you, but for testing your intelligence." Two men of the tribe of Muzayna came to Allah's messenger and said, "Allah's messenger, what is your opinion? That the people do in the world and strive for is something decreed for them, something preordained for them, and will their fate in the hereafter be determined by the fact that their prophets brought them teachings which they did not act upon, and thus they became deserving of punishment?"
Now watch Hussein, before you finish it. The man said, I was just testing you because you're right, and I agree with you, because Muhammad answered that way, it's predestination. So their prophet said, no, it's predestination. Now read his answer.
Thereupon he said, now is this Muhammad speaking here?
Yes.
Okay. Of course, it happens as it is decreed by destiny and preordained for them. And this view is confirmed by the verse of the book of Allah, the exalted and glorious. Consider the soul and Him who made it perfect and breathed into it its sin and its piety.
Okay, Muhammad
Wow.
said it's predestined. That's why Allah Himself created you evil and good. He put evil and good in you. He breathed evil in you and good. So evil came out of Allah and He put it in you, both good and evil. And He says that's the Quran, chapter 91, verse 8. So according to the most authentic collection of narrations, Sahih Muslim, Bukhari, this is Sahih Muslim, Muhammad quoted chapter 91, verse 8 of the Quran to say this proves it's all predestined because Allah breathed into Hussein both his evil and righteous deeds that he's going to do.
That is unbelievable, man.
The other Muslim left too?
Yeah, but I guess they both got Muslim. He's been trying to come on. I did another program this afternoon, and he was trying to come on, and he just
Wow.
It's the same guy.
Two Muslims ran?
I had two today. Yeah.
They ran after we gave them their own evidence?
Yes.
All right. God bless you three, and the Lord Jesus use you. I'm going to listen because I'm tired. I just wanted to do a hit and run.